or a coach, but also some games change the way rugby will be played then for the next 4 or 5 years.
Right, I'm coming back in on this because something we've kind of skipped over, and we've done it in a jokey way, but that test in 2009 changed rugby because that was such a high-profile game and a brutality in such a high-profile game that rugby changed.
Yeah, it did. You're right.
You know, and that's something we shouldn't skip over. If that game was played today, there'd be a lot of bans. There'd be 10-minute head injury reviews all over the place.
Well,
like
O'Driscoll
from the
been a
gouge
straight
22nd in, it's everywhere. So that
And
game
Berger.
changed rugby,
Yeah.
and we shouldn't forget that. We can get a little bit misty-eyed about some of these things.
And I think the other thing people forget about that game as well, which is why I really loved the line breaks in it, is 2009 was like the peak of rugby kick tennis. So it was when Mornay Stain was at his peak, you know, just booting the ball back and forth, sitting deep, kick it, bomb, 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 bomb. So it's, when you had a line break back then, it was quite a big deal. And, you know, Peterson and Abana and those boys making those breaks, it was... yeah, that was quite. That game is burned onto my mind, like you say.
I think it's something about those sort of games. It's difficult to put your finger on it. It was like when Marvin Hagler fought Thomas Hearns, right? it just bang. It sparks into life. You can talk about it's going to be this. You know, it's going to game of chess, a kicking game. When they get out there, you know, they thrive because they're elite athletes, elite sportsmen. They're so proud. Sometimes it just goes off, you know, and I think that day was one of those days. I think back to 97, the second game in Durban, I think it was Jerry Guscott kicked the drop goal to seal a series. It went off that day as well. And, you know, it's hard to put your finger on, but when you're part of something like that, it's unbelievable. It's like you're in slow motion. It's like you're in a bubble. Things happen that don't normally happen. You know, you sort of see them just about as they're about to. Shane Williams misses a tackle, you know, and his opposite number goes 90 meters. And I'm talking about San Sebastian again, where Birds beat us in the quarterfinal. I'll never get over it. But things like that never happen, you know.
Yeah.
But they do in these one-off games. I watched some of it earlier with you guys. There would have been about 10 HIAs in that if that was played today.
Easily.
It was unbelievable. It was like Mean Machine. I was wondering for Burt Reynolds to come out, and it was unbelievable.
Well, Danny Rousseau looked like he was acting. It looked like something from a bad film. He was so concussed, you know, and there was a clear gouge.
When you look back at the gouge on Fitzgerald, my God,
it's unbelievable.
Like, hang on a second, we shouldn't look at that as say like, oh, but that was 2009. No, in 2001, that was a red card.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly.
One of the
yeah.
Well, apart from in Pro D2, but we'll come back to that.
Yeah,
can I give you a quick side story here, boys?
Yeah,
always.
That's why we're here.
Always.
I tell you what, this has come to mind.
On the main screen.
Here he comes.
2009. This is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do as a coach. 2009, the Lions squad was being announced, right? And we were training for a big Heineken Cup game in the Vale in Cardiff, where Wales train, and we're mid-session, and we all know what happens with Lions announcements. It's announced on the TV. The players don't know. They only know when that. Well, we are training while it's been announced. So fair play to them. And we had a great team in 2009. So we're training away. Media officer comes up to me, Peter Owen, and Adam knows him well, nudges me, gives me the list. I blow my whistle, stop, everybody in. I'd like to congratulate the following names from Ospreys Rugby who've been chosen to represent the British and Irish Lions on the South African Tour 2009. And I read the list out. Mike Phillips, Tommy Bowe, Alan Wynne-Jones, Adam Jones, and then the list goes on, right? We were very lucky. Shane Williams, we got a lot of representatives. But the one guy that wasn't on the list was not only our captain, he was the Wales captain, Ryan Jones.
Oh, God.
So I had to announce no one. When I looked down the list, I knew straight away. The captain of Wales, he's not playing. He's not.
What did he say? Was he gutted?
He trained like an animal because they had weights straight after they went in. He trained like he was throwing weights around. I went to speak to him, and couldn't speak to him, you know. Ironically, he went as captain of the Wales tour that I coached in North America, got concussed in the game against Canada, played against USA, got smashed in the first minute, and Warren Gatland phoned him to fly over because somebody got injured out there. They flew him all the way. They flew him all the way over. He had his photos, he had his kit bag. The doctor did a medical test. He failed it. They put him straight on the plane back home.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention that because he came straight back. Love him.
It's 2009, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
God, love him.
Sorry for the sideshow, but it just sprung to mind.
That's fantastic.
What a happy ending.